What is it? No, wrong Lingoism. Ni top money. No, do you still not to Namada Trondu Atanti, but Jenny, the next current Lamin Nanger. Or let's say, send but say to the kitchen here is.
So it is important that without the concept and thought of past, present, future, and then concentrating one's mind into the Guru Yoga practice with the full devotion and single-pointed faith. So, as we have obtained the precious human rebirth, then we should really get some meaning out of it by taking the actual advantage to this precious human rebirth, and to have that realizing the meaning is that how one can just really get involved into the spiritual dharma practice. Other than that, whatever sort of worldly activity we may do, of course, just it may have certain level of success, but ultimately it does not benefit.
I was doing a message, the abortion donna, Slarmelin, Koral Chamogivaji, on 2 years, in our also. Kichi hid Chunga, Kichunga, Chivalegane, then the Korisha, like Toppers and do it. Then I also sent you she was change about it.
So, if one could concentrate into this dharma practice with the diligence and carry through, practice with perseverance, it is possible that we could have all these levels of, realization. But somehow, what we think important is just become kind of minor thing, and what we just, what is supposed to be kind of minor things, we take it more important, and that way how we are just doing everything in an opposite way, and that is the just somehow nature of the sentient beings in samsara.
So,
for to do all this dharma practice, it has to depend upon certain conditions, such as like these that special time, such as the flourishing of the Dzogchen teachings. That does not happen, every time, once in a while. And this time, in a way, just, fortunate that during the Shakyamuni Buddha's period of time, then, through Guru Pama Sambhava, we have all these, Dzogchen practices. And so one have to take, just seriously that one could to gain something. So that for many countless lifetimes, whatever we have accumulated the merit and whatever we have done the aspiration prayer, that kind of the fruit or the result is ripening this time. But still, somehow that just it is very few who are just turned their mind towards the just Dharma. other than that, how we like the samsara and all this worldly activity, and that way how we are just so involved into these worldly activities. So, however, we may gain all this material wealth, fame and power and luxuries, of course, that does not really liberate us. And that only just become a cause or just condition that how we get stuck into samsara for many years. So, but at the same time, when death happens to oneself, that whatever we have just gained about fame, material wealth and power and all sorts of this worldly thing, of course we cannot just carry anything. Only what we can carry with us is that whatever sort of karma we have accumulated. So once we have accumulated whatsoever the karma is, then even it is like a eon's lifetime, maybe just passed, it cannot be get wasted, and it is definitely going to ripen to one's own this defiled aggregate, and there is no any other way, and it does not ripen on just earth or soil or rocks anywhere. Definitely it will ripen into oneself. So that way one have to be more kind enough to oneself, that how one can just work out to really follow this path to liberate from the suffering of samsara. So that however within this lifetime all these relatives, relationships, whatever we have as one's parents and children and relatives and friends and so forth, that when death happens to oneself, and then they also may be kind of just wants to be there, but then just calling to like father and mother and so forth, and that which only cause to just return back into samsara, and other than that it does not really benefit at all. Even though all these parents or relatives or friends and so forth, they just show their love and affection to you, that doesn't mean to be kind of mean, but still the when you have that kind of attachment, then that cause oneself to be stuck in the samsara. So because of this negative karma, even after the death in the Partho intermediate stage, that where it appears, all these peaceful, wrathful deities just to liberate you, but one could not just really understand and could not perceive in that way, and that is why it just seems like, all this kind of very scary male and female deities, and one could not just really recognize, and through which one could not liberate.
Tata Jara Ringa, Kando Denga, Tenatonji Shawin, Gato Kato Nanga Mombuchi, Tongere, Tenatonji, Sancha Gada Dishin, Ronles Su, in one that the Chandimado, Yedan Lari, Mangoking Mariteva, Nelly Tatu Maris,
So then also that there appears that all these 5 different colors of light, which is the symbolic nature of the 5 Dhyanim Buddhas, and then the 5 Dakinis, but one could not recognize in that way, one could not just do supplication prayer or faith, and then in that way one just could not liberate. So instead of that, these just appear like all sorts of weapons that is talking to oneself, and if one could possibly recognize, oh, these are the meditational deities, and if one could understand, then one could have some benefit, but one could not really do in that way. So that is why from right now, if we just train ourselves with all this Dharma practice, then at that time one could get a great deal of benefit. So this is that whole complete instruction starting from the like Wendo, Talung, and then Tokchen, Degel, Tekche, all this, not like some kind of just a story or some explanation. It is going through the proper instructions.
The proper here, so Najar Mebatun again, sentient on Jilap Mati be put out the Jimber sorry Mebajigeni, Sonchu said the owner on the gums.
And then as explained every time that without any pride and doing this practice, and then generating compassion and loving kindness or bodhicitta to all sentient beings, like one mother with the one son. So since there is the ego or the I, and because of that, then we always think that I'm good, I'm great, I'm powerful, and in that way how we are just attached into our ego or pride. So then naturally it does not really do anything good. And then such as like a hatred or anger, even just somebody the way of conversation is a little bit not right, and then instantly one becomes just angry. Being arising to this negative emotion of hatred and anger is the main root cause to reborn in the hell realm. So actually, if one just try to think properly, then that pride or the object which where you just give rise to anger, it seems like appear, but in reality it is all in just emptiness. saying. Some peoples are very short-tempered, and that just saying, oh, on your face there is the nose, and then just one becomes so mad and become angry. And one thing, of course, I have a nose, and my nose is good. But anyhow, it is so how easy it is to just give rise to hatred or anger. So there's that the insect, like a snail, they just have the kind of like a just horn. If you touch a little bit, instantly it just shrinks down. Same like that, how our minds are, just instantly it just arises and it becomes just emotional. So in that way, we have to just try to control our mind, just don't leave it like that. Even somebody makes you angry, you try to just control and not get angry. And also you have to generate compassion and loving kindness to that object who creates you anger. Not just only just sentient beings, even sometimes become angry with doors and pillars and brooms and all this kind of just the tools. And sometimes even there is a strong wind, you get angry. And that is the anger is just kind of like arising so instantly. So also it is taught that one should not be angry to all these objects. Because even these, like the doors and pillars and ropes, that there are also sentient beings. And not only that, sometimes oneself is angry to one's own self. So in that way, it is just very easy to be, angry. So one should not do that way, just every day in your day lifetime, just constantly think and try to not to, just give rise to anger. And out of the 5, poisons of this, afflictive emotion, the most, negative is that, anger. So in case, just that in case if it is not been sealed by, dedication, prayers, then whatever that merits we have accumulated, it can be just, instantly just wasted by, being, giving rise to anger. So sometimes that when you see a person just walking there and for no reason that just you feel like, oh, that is not the right way of walking, and you become angry. So some I'm just making jokes, some are just really true. So just try to be careful. So now only the Tegel first and second year students just stay, rest, and texture students can leave for your practice.
Okay, thank you. Tetar, Tidon, Nambakan. Lami Nanjola Tayari Khenchen More, Tanes, Denezonde, Sonje Govon, Matoji Bardu, they did on Nambakan, then Lami Nanjo Conan, to them the Tirbosha and the
So in this way, it is very important to carry through the practice of the Guru Yoga today onward until one just attain complete enlightenment. Till to that one can concentrate one's own practice on this Guru Yoga as the one's main practice. So concentrating one's mind in all times and aspect to the Guru Yoga practice, just accumulating the Bhajan Guru mantra and 7-line prayers. So, however, whatever sort of empowerment we may receive, it is kind of short or kind of very grand empowerment. However, it is just condensed into that vast empowerment, and then secret empowerment, and then the wisdom and word empowerment. So based on main empowerment of Bas, then there is also all these meditational deities. And then also it includes that all the ornaments and then the hand emblems empowerment. And after that, then the secret empowerment. And then after that, wisdom empowerment. After that, then the precious word empowerment. So that during the this Guru Yoga practice, receiving the 4 empowerment, that from one's Lama's forehead radiating white light, that which dissolve into one's forehead, and then receive the vast empowerment and purify all the body obscuration. So that is the vast empowerment. Then the secret empowerment from the just Guru's throat radiant a red light like the shooting star, and that which dissolve to one's throat, and then receive the secret empowerment, and then purify speech obscuration, and then cultivate the seed of Sambhogaya.
O take it semji yeji dribaton jitane, then Guru Tuju won't tone, then Herunda was the terrace.
So then after that, then from the Guru's mind or the heart, radiant the light like a blue color, smoke color, that like incense burning, and then that which dissolve to your just heart, and that purify your mind obscuration, and then receive the mind empowerment, and the mind empowerment, which is also the like a wisdom empowerment, and then cultivate the seed of the Dharmakaya.
Tene kui ne na le was ka na nga tre rong ne ngar timbe te sa ba chang ji de ba san ji ton ne tene Tsewang Rinpoche na rong sem rong o tre ga ba what the thing to see the terrace.
Then after that, Guru's 5 places written, 5 colors that which dissolve to your 5 places, and through which that it purifies all the accumulated negativities and obscuration, and then one receives the word, the precious word empowerment.
This is the wrong exam. Ripirango money. So
at that time, then one need to abide in the absolute nature of the mind. And then it is just abiding on the view of texture. So that normally we receive this, empowerment, and then during the Guru Yoga practice, receiving these 4 empowerments, they are just same meaning.
Then Guru Rangitai Lama Yambala,
so that Guru is just the essential nature is one's root to master, but which appears in form of Guru Pema Sambhava, who is the condensed nature of all the Buddhas.
Lamin Nanjol, Madanguru, Denham, Wangi Tesa Lena, no Toba didn't do the Raymond, Netuji Marimato, do ye Castellana, Wangi on the Toba Togiers.
So in this way, carrying through the Guru Yoga practice, where you just go through accumulation of Bhajar Guru mantra and 7-line prayer, and then receiving the 4 empowerment. In that way, if it is possible, just one should do, many times. But if not, then at least one time as your daily basis practice. And in that way, then slowly all this grows, and then the subtle afflictive emotions also can be got purified. The enlightenment mind, that which is within oneself, that also slowly it increased or developed. If oneself is not too just intense and not been bound by the dualistic thoughts, then it is maybe easy to have the enlightenment. So if we are just bound up by all these afflictive thoughts and then the attachment, then it is maybe difficult to attain Buddhahood. So to obtain the complete enlightenment or the Buddhahood, that only that we could purify our obscurations, karmic obscurations, and other than that there is nothing to just receive or come from anywhere. Yeah, but still, just our thoughts are just so instantly it is arising, and because of that all these afflictive emotions or the defilements constantly just accumulated, and that is the just reason we could not even just have a one one moment of single bonded mind. So watching one's just mind, that try to reduce all these afflictive emotions and the conceptual thoughts, and then try to just develop the devotion and then the practice of the Guru Yoga, and that is the just thing in the Dharma practice we have to subdue or tame our mind.
Lo Taba Retreat Onyams Land Laman, the Cambogi, Missy Cambogi, Carlo Non, Tangasi Chivichua, Hitters and Hieshen, Toronto not until the Taba Tendu, that is a pen 2 years.
So in this way, just every year we are having this retreat and giving all these teachings and also going through all these explanations that doing every retreat time, and to hope that that would benefit to subdue your minds.
I say here about the Toronto Jin, Santoni Yatu Grimar, Niembet of the Pentomaris.
So whatever we explain to you is important that keep in your mind. Just hearing is not necessarily it is beneficial. So for instance, like all this, the Buddhism texts, the commentaries, if we just read and study and contemplate, of course it is very vast. But it is so vast that it is difficult to really condensed. Because that one have to just kind of develop these thoughts in relation with that. But these instructions that where we try to reduce the thoughts and condense into the actual instruction and then try to concentrate on the actual practice. And how much that conceptual thought develops, it will just be furthermore to attain Buddhahood. It will not become closer. And of course, then the just sort of the quality or that knowledge will be developed. So even one have a great deal of knowledge, like all these texts, almost like one luggage of elephant that could carry, but if there is no actual practice, then still there is no much benefit. It is said that what we need to study is like equal to the space and the stars. So that is there is no that can be exhausted. All these Dharma teachings, one after another, it is more kind of profound and more just kind of good. But anyway, one have to condense into the crucial point and then apply into practice. So in this way, just every time, whatever it is been just explained, try to keep in mind and then concentrate into the Guru Yoga practice. Try to just concentrate in it. So even though that in a way just you could not read everything, and also there are few just translations, but still it may be not just complete. So that is why if you just try to concentrate into this instruction and carry through practice properly, then in the future that there is a kind of path to liberation. joy, and when there is no any sign, one should not get upset. So someone who is doing the Dharma practice, of course there will be all these good and bad signs. We are not doing this practice that hoping to have some good signs. We are just concentrating how we can just achieve, nirvana, the liberation. So not to just get a conflict with all these things, try to have a very stable devotion, and then try to follow the path with the continuity. So in this way you all can get it through practice and stay those the Tegel first year and second year, rest you all can live.
Oh yeah.